I want to talk about, so in the Colts game, obviously a lot of people know, I'm sure everyone knows about it. Vontaze Burfict got ejected and is suspended for the remainder of the season on the hit on Jack Doyle.
Yep. See you later, guy. Gone for the season.
I've seen a lot of people talking about how, it shouldn't be allowed the game and how it's, fucked up that he did it and all that shit. But this is coming from a Colts fan and someone who played majority on the defensive side. I mean, I played offense too, but I primarily on the defensive side, and I honestly don't have a problem with the hit whatsoever. I understand obviously people being upset about it because it's like, oh, he could ruin his career, or ruin his life, or whatever. But at the end of the day, like when you're playing in the NFL, you are getting paid to go play a sport, and if you get injured, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Like people cannot complain. Like all these people coming out about how they have, CTE or, concussions, and it's fun. Listen, bud, like at any point in time, you can pull an Andrew Luck and just quit.
Yeah.
But people do not because they're getting paid. They value the money over their well-being. So, all these people that complain about trying to make the game safer, I just let them hit how they used to, because people will play regardless because it's a lot of money and people would rather make that money than care about their well-being. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, it was a really fucking late hit. Like, it would have been different if he was the only one that hit him over the middle. But the dude was wrapped up by two people.
Well, I mean, no,
he was going down, and then he
was going.
And
for
the thing
his head,
is with him is that he's done it multiple times.
Well, yeah, exactly. But like I understand.
Whenever it gets to a certain point of hits, like you've done this now 8 times and you've been suspended that many times for the same thing.
Yeah.
Then it's a problem. I understand coming over the fucking middle and hitting somebody. Like, that's something. But when someone's wrapped up and you fucking go in and you just put your fucking helmet down straight into them.
Listen, dude, I don't understand why it happened on Jack Doyle, but all I'm saying is if there's like Julio coming over the middle and he's had a 200-yard game and it's the last drive of the game and
they're approaching the red zone.
And no one's ever going to tell anybody to take someone out. But if my linebacker, I'm on offense, my linebacker happens to hit him in the head and he's out for the rest of the game and he gets ejected for the last 5 minutes of the game and we win the game, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And
that's a reality. It's not like, oh, well, you're an asshole. No, that's a reality of the game.
Yeah.
Like if that person's out, we're going to do better.
Yeah. Like
that's it.
It's also one of the things, like, obviously it's like not okay, but I mean, if you're going to do it, it should be on someone that matters.
Yeah, it shouldn't be on someone who doesn't. It shouldn't be on
the second string tight end that comes over the middle and then you hit him and then he doesn't even leave the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously it shouldn't happen in general, but I understand why he has done it so much. Yeah. Because, like, in that playoff game against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He took out Antonio Brown.
AB is one of the fucking best wide receivers in the game. Take him out of the game. There you go.
Yeah. So,
even if he gets ejected, they just lost their best fucking offensive weapon.
Exactly.
That's just a reality of the game.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, and it's like, again,
it happens at all levels.
And like you can easily avoid it 2 ways. One, you don't, as a quarterback, you don't throw over the middle to let them get speared
when you
in
see
the fucking head.
A safety or a linebacker barreling at them.
And 2, you do what Ty does, and you just get down.
Yeah.
You don't fight for the extra yards, and you just get down.
Yeah.
Ty, obviously, he's hurt
smart.
from like a hamstring, but he's the smartest wide receiver in the league.
People are going to say, oh, well, he should have fought for yards, or he could play a couple more years for your team.
Yeah, exactly.
That too.
Ty is by far the smartest wide receiver in the league because
and underrated as fuck.
He never ever takes hard hits intentionally. He always drops down, slides, dives forward, runs out of bounds. He never takes the hard hits unless he absolutely has to. So
yeah.
And you know, when you're playing a sport that's obviously a contact sport and you're getting paid to do it at a high level, obviously big hits happen. So if you're wanting to protect your body, you can do it. but also you can't. It's not a one-way street. You also can't bitch about getting drilled when you're making $100 million to catch a football.
Yeah.
Like, hey, sorry, you signed up, then quit. Do what Andrew Luck did.
There are people out there that will do it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, do what Andrew Luck quit because his body hurts. Jacoby Brissett comes in, no problem. It's like whatever. There's always going to be extra people. So I mean, if those people that complain about those hits, like I've heard like former offensive players, like Tony Gonzalez was talking about how it's not acceptable. Well, listen, bud, you could have also quit if it had happened.
Yeah,
to you
didn't have to play. You didn't have to play for millions of dollars.
He didn't have to play for 13 seasons when those hits were prevalent and they weren't flagged.
Yeah.
But he did because, one, he was a big tight end, bigger than most linebackers, and two, because he got paid enough money to where he did not care if he got hit like that.
Yeah, but now you want to complain after the fact.
Yeah, but now when you're sitting there talking about these players getting hit, how it's unacceptable, it doesn't work like that. Like, you can't play the game and be fine with it and play, and then come in later after you're done, after you've made all your money, and say this shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a different game than it was.
Fuck you, guy.
But
yeah, I mean, it fucking happens.
I don't know,
in football.
And yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like offensive-minded people obviously are gonna think
you don't want to get hit
okay.
like that. Go play golf.
Yeah.
You might have a better time playing golf.
Obviously, offensive people are going to think differently on it than defensive-minded people because there's people that
you can only change it so much before it's not football anymore.
Yeah.
You can only do so much. I mean, you can make it as safe as you want, but at the end of the day, it's football, and it's contact sport, and it's fucking head-to-head hits. It happens. It happens to linemen every single play. What's happening to that?
Yeah.
Those linemen are in hand-to-hand combat, headbutting each other for a whole game, every play. Mm-hmm. And they're not sitting there fucking complaining about it because they're in the fucking trenches and they know that it's going to happen. They sign up for it.
That's what everyone does when they make it to the NFL. Like when you're playing in high school or college, you're playing for fun. And I understand that stuff not being okay then. But when you start getting paid, which in California, they can now take endorsements in college. They can take endorsements and get money to play. When you start getting paid to play a sport, it does not matter what physical endurance and risk you're taking during the sport because you are getting paid.
Yeah. And you choose to do that. You don't have to do that. You can go do any other fucking job, but you chose to do that one where you know that it's possible for that kind of shit to happen.
And no one is forcing you to stay in the job.
You can't control what another guy's going to do. You can't control what that safety is going to do. You can't control what the linebacker's going to do. You signed up to do the fucking job, so do the fucking job or go get a different job.
Yeah.
That's just how it should be.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how it is. Yeah. I mean, you're never going to be able to change it. You're never going to take those hits out of the game completely. It just won't happen.